nowadays a hot topic and a hot field for women. Basically, why we are discussing about females or women only, because we have a population of females as well, and our females are very, very much talented, and they need a pathway towards success and towards any kind of venture. So that's why I believe that women in technology, they are very, very much empowered. They just need a push. So, empowering women in STEAM, what is the statistics and what are the next steps toward STEAM in Pakistan? So, let's have a insight towards it. So, where we stand today, we don't know that what kind of challenges we are facing and what kind of challenges we had faced in, like, before a decade even. So I believe that our Gen Z females and Gen Z students, they are very, very much progressive than us even, because they have a very good quality. They believe that if you want to do something, if you want to excel, just work on it. Even in our generation, we were very confused. We were not very much counseled by for our careers. At that time, there were only two careers: doctor or engineer. Engineering was also very difficult for females because there were less number of females was there in the engineering field. Even when I was doing MS, I was only the female student in my class. So now the dynamics are being changed. There are lots of students, there are lots of female students who are coming at showing it up, and the families are very supportive. So I can see the drastic change, which is a very positive sign for our society as well. So basically, where we lack, 45% of female are enrolled in medical sciences, and obviously this field is very, very much fast, and the things have been changed as well. And 40% of females are enrolled in natural sciences. Only 20%, 21% of females are enrolled in engineering and technical disciplines as well. This is not only about the engineering, because engineering are only categorized in civil, electrical, and mechanical, but there are other technical field as well, as the computer science, AI, data science, cybersecurity. You can only find only few females in that, but they have a very, very much, you can say, spark in them, because I teach as well. So I can see that the female students are very, very much, you can say, very, very much motivated toward their progress. They really want to shape their future. They really want to change themselves as well, and they want to be an entrepreneur as well. So I believe the fusion of management, entrepreneurship, and the technical skills you have, that can create a very, very good and a progressive and empowered female in our society. So this is these statistics are from the UNESCO gender parity assessment data collection. Then obviously I also just mentioned at the start of this session that always go through a very you can say very difficult situations, social pressures, and then we have systematic barriers to progress as well. And this is a very, very big thing, that despite of lots of pressures and barriers and obstacles, the females and the women in our society, they excel somehow. So this is also a very good you can say adjective in them. So why don't we excel in a technical field? And we have to do that. And I can see the audience here, and I feel very good that they are encouraging, they are motivating, and they are in the forefront. Okay, so what is catalyst? When we used to learn chemistry, so there was a word catalyst we used to have between the react and the product. So catalyst is the one who is your mentor. So when you work, or when you are a student, there must be one or two mentor in your life. They really shape up your future, and they really shape up your mind as well. So in secondary education, it can be your teachers, it can be any instructor as well. So always go for someone who always motivates you, right? Then we have lots of mentors in our life. When you acquire the bachelor degree, there are lots of professors and your teachers who really motivates you. So I also believe in the mental health as well. If we really motivate the students, whatever the condition is, whatever, if they are not taking good grades, so if we really motivate them, if we really appreciate them, you can see the drastic difference in their performance as well. So this is how we can break the stereotypical systems as well. Okay, so I believe that I really want to hear from you guys as well, that who is your mentor and how you have shaped up your life and how you can justify the power of mentorship. Anyone in the audience? Okay, so it happens, when I was studying, I had lots of mentors. I did my PhD from Malaysia, and there was lots of diverse experience I experienced over there, because there were lots of people from different cultures. So when you sit with different people with different mindset, you make a very good solution of your problem. And my supervisor was very very much helping, and he taught me that if you uh, try to calm your and try to facilitate your students, they will work by themselves. So I always apply this thing to my students as well. I let them play in the arena where they can where they can play and bring the innovative ideas as well, especially females. It's not about that I'm doing a gender parity here, but it's very much important because 51% of our population is female. So we really need to encourage them to come on forefront and do something. If it, despite of the technical skills, despite of the engineering skills, we need to motivate them for entrepreneurship as well, because entrepreneurship is something which will really save their future as well. For example, if you are good at baking, for example, if you are good at cooking, for example, you are good at knitting or making anything, or if you're good at arts, anything, just go and just showcase your product and start doing it, because now the things are very easy. Now you can have your website as well easily by one click, then you can market it. This is how, if you start doing it from the early age, you will really feel that how empowered you have. Because financial dependence, I believe, is the one of the basic problem in our society. So we need to remove that gap as well, and we need to empower ourselves to uplift the society as well. It's not all about the equality. I believe it's about the equity, that how much we are contributing to the society. So I believe only 4,000 PhDs are there in Pakistan, female PhDs, including the medical field as well. So I believe that we can increase that number, and globally only 2% of PhDs are there. So I believe if we put contribution in it, we can make a big difference. Thank you so much, guys. If there's any question regarding entrepreneurship or regarding research writing, so you guys are welcome to ask, and I'll be happy to assist, and I'll really appreciate. Thank you, Bushra. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a thoughtful and inspiring session. I believe today's discussion reminded us that success in STEAM is not only measured by degrees, research, or professional achievements. It's also reflected in the confidence to pursue new ideas, the willingness to support others, and the courage to create opportunities where none existed before. Thank you once again for sharing your experience and insights with all of us. Now, I would love to hear from our audience. If you have any question, please ask. I think there are no more questions. So thank you everyone for thoughtful participation and active participation. As we conclude today's session, I hope each of us leave with a renewed sense of confidence and motivation. At Women in Computer Science, our goal is not only to organization, but to build a community where women can learn, connect, support one another, and grow together. Through the initiatives of AI Explain You Science, we remain committed to creating platforms that bring together students, researchers, educators, and professionals to share knowledge, inspire innovation, and encourage meaningful collaboration. A heartfelt thank you to our founder, Professor Dr. Inam Khan, for his continued guidance and support in making these opportunities possible. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Keep learning and keep creating. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Goodbye.
Engineering Council Program Evaluator for the engineering programs. Currently, I am serving as Assistant Professor and Postgraduate in charge in the Rifa International University I-14 campus for the Biomedical Engineering Department. So this is my brief introduction. I am a biomedical engineer having PhD from Malaysia and a researcher, educator, and mentor. Currently serving, as I mentioned before, as assistant professor in biomedical engineering, actively supervising for undergraduate and postgraduate MS PhD research projects, academic mentor, and my expertise lies in biomedical image processing, nanotechnology, medical image analysis, AI in healthcare. Recently, I have received a research grant from industry in Saudi Arabia, and I'm working actively for international and collaboration with other international top-notch universities, such as Nottingham, Asia Pacific University, and Khan University. So today's my topic is introduction to confocal. My today's topic is confocal microscopy for live cell imaging. Before we start, we must understand what is the word confocal means. Confocal means having the same focus or precise location. This microscopy is a technique that uses lasers and fluorescence to create a 3D image of a sample. Now, what is the role of confocal here? In other conventional light microscopes, it illuminates and targets the all over the specimen with lower resolution and lower magnification without any much attention to the details. But in confocal, we precisely locate the tissues and cells that we want to target and magnify that and obtain a better spatial resolution. So we focus on a specific location. We focus and target any specific location and we deal with that by using lasers. What kind of lasers? We will talk about in the upcoming slides. Now, what is the meaning of fluorescence? Fluorescence means the interaction of light with any biological specimen, and it creates images, 2D and 3D images out of that tissues and samples. So a focused laser beam is used to excite the molecules at one point. One point means me being focal, confocal. At one point of the sample, the molecules that we wish target, the tissues of the human or animal bodies called fluorophores, release photons while the laser beam interacts with the specimen as they return to their unexcited state, causing the fluorescence. It means the emission of light. By scanning across the sample, an image of the sample can be created. So it has many applications in the field, ranging from simple physics and chemistry experiments in the lab, to the material science, to the life science in the lab. And it is specifically used for the live cell imaging. Live cell means we can see the cell interacts with other molecules in the human body, and it can be divided and it can create 2, 3, and 4 more samples, and we can see the life of the sample of the cell in these videos. We can create 2D and 3D images. We combine to them together, and it can create a video of 10 to 15 seconds. So it can be used highly in the medical research centers. So what is the working principle of confocal microscopy? Confocal microscopy has 2 pinholes which is used in the process of imaging. A pinhole is placed in the front of illumination source, in front of the laser source, to allow the transmission only through that specific small area. Subsequently, image on the confocal plane of the specimen, only one point of the sample is illuminated. So here lies the concept of confocal microscopy. We focus on a specific point and we illuminate and image only one point, line by line, point by point on the sample from the sample surface. And then we use the concept of biological tagging. Now, what is the biological tagging? if we target the laser of the confocal microscopy on any specific location, we place colorful green color, blue color dyes on that sample surface, and then we target that specific dye and we excite that place at the confocal plane, and then we get the image from that specific dye. And only fluorescence excited with the focal plane of the specimen will go through the detector pinhole. Scanning of small sections is done, like we target point by point, line by line from the sample surface, and then join them together to create a 3D image. Most commonly, pinhole size is 25 to 50 millimeter. Now we go for the working mechanism. The confocal microscopy incorporates two ideas: point-by-point illumination and rejection out of focus light, which means that if we image any surface area out of the dye, it will be rejected and it will be out of focus light. We only target the dye area, that is biological tagging. Then the laser light source is used in modern microscopes for the illumination, which provides intense blue excitation light. The motor-driven mirrors scan the laser light across the specimen, means we create 3D image by moving the motor stage back and forth, and then vertical, horizontal directions. So we can create all the directions, we address all the directions and create 3D images. The reflected light will be green and the emitted light will be blue. So the reflected light will be green is passed through the same mirror and measured by the photo multiplier tube, which converts the image into a digital and meaningful data. And then it will be processed through the computer that builds up the image. So as you can see, this is the laser light source. It emits the light which is in the shape of blue color to the dichromatic mirror, which has a pinhole, and it is directed towards the sample surface by using the objective lens. These objective lens helps the laser light to be focused on the sample surface. And then it is emitted back to the pinhole which is shown in the above of the picture, and it's directed to the photomultiplier detector, which converts the image to the digital information. So this is the light pathway. As you can see, the emitted light is blue color, the exciting light. It goes through the objective lens to the sample surface, the specimen. It targets the dye, the biological tagging, take the information for the resolution and all the depth of the sample, and it is converts and goes back through the dichromatic beam splitter and then barrier filter, which rejects out of focus light, and then the eyepiece, which is more focused and rejects the remaining out of focus light, and then goes to the PMT, which is photomultiplier tube, and then to the computer for further processing. So this is the optical path. As I mentioned, we used objective lenses and the other lenses to focus the light beam. And confocal microscopy has been manufactured by the company by Marvin Minsky, patented in 1957. And the whole idea is mentioned in the last point, which creates point-by-point scanning rather than targeting the whole image and the whole surface at one. So why we use lasers? Lasers stand for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So this is the abbreviation laser, LASER. Why we are using lasers? It is used because they are intense, coherent monochromatic source, means it travels in single direction at a focus point and targets a focused location on the sample surface, whether it is hard sample like in physics or soft samples like in live cell imaging. And then the laser beam is usually linearly polarized, means it is focused and travels in single direction. But you need several lasers to cover a large excitation range. So these are the lasers used in confocal microscopy. These are 5 of them, but there are many other lasers can be used. The most has been used is argon ultraviolet. The reason is that it has the shortest wavelength and the greatest energy. That is why it can travel to the longest direction. Photomultiplier tube PMT, which has been shown to you in the diagram, for light detection of very weak signals. Means if the traveling signal of the light or laser in the whole diagram of a confocal microscopy has a weak energy, then the photomultiplier tube assess those very weak signals, and it can increase the energy of the laser source by amplifying the electrons generated by a photocathode. So the whole idea of PMT is assisting and helping the very weak signals by amplifying the energy, amplifying the signals of the electrons which are generated by the photocathode from the sample surface. So there are 3 types of filters which is used in confocal microscopy. First, we need to understand what is the purpose behind using these filters. We use the filter because we want to reject out of focus light. The same thing has been done from the eyepiece. So for this purpose, we use excitation filters, we use barrier filters, and we use dichromatic beam splitter, which is prism. Excitation filter are high quality optical glass filters for the selection of excitation wavelength of light from source. Barrier filters, which is just beneath the eyepiece in the backward path, it blocks and absorbs the excitation wavelength, which is the green color signal and the laser. And the splitter prism is used to control which wavelength of light go to their respective filters. So these are the dichromatic mirrors, which has been shown in the image in the beginning of the presentation. So now we have 2 types of confocal microscopy. We have 2 modes of operation. One is confocal laser scanning microscopy, CLSM, and the other one is spinning disk technology. Both of them have their pros and cons. So CLSM combines high resolution optical imaging with depth selectivity, which allows us to do optical sectioning. Optical sectioning means we want to focus a specific area on the specimen and reject out of focus light. That is called optical sectioning. So we use CLSM, essentially that can scan an object point by point using a focused laser beam to allow for a 3D reconstruction. Now, by using CLSM, we can target only one area at one time. We cannot target the whole area simultaneously, and it bears higher energy. Spinning disk technology, it is the same technology, but it used array of pinholes. It uses many laser lights at one time. In CLSM, we have to address one single source at a time, one single location at a time. But by using a spinning disk technology, it allows the researchers to address more than one location at one time. And at this disk spins at high speed, about 6,000 revolutions or rotations per minute. And it addresses and uses a group of pinholes, an array of pinholes. So we can target many locations at one time. So these are the simple comparison between the two modes of operation. Laser scanning is best for optical sectioning and resolution, but for spinning disk, it is far lower photo bleaching and toxicity. What is photo bleaching? What is toxicity? I will discuss in the upcoming slide. In laser scanning, we can select only one emission wavelength range, but in a spinning disk, we can create many locations and we can target many region of interest, and it has much faster speed, less than 1 second, and it operates at high quantum efficiency, and it is used mainly for live cell imaging, spinning disk. So what are the advantages of confocal microscopy? Why we are using confocal microscopy? It has better resolution as compared to other conventional microscopes. Cells can be live or fixed. It has minimal sample preparation. And we can create many 2D images, and then we can create one 3D image. Simultaneously, we can create many 3D images, and after combining them, we can create a small 10 to 15 seconds video to watch it. So one of the major advantages of using confocal microscopy, we can create out of focus problem. We can reject out of focus light. Each fluorophore contributes blur to every other plane. Signal to background ratio decreases with specimen thickness. Means we can use thin samples also here. Now, what is photo bleaching and what is phototoxicity? Photo bleaching means the dye can be damaged if it is exposed to a greater energy of the laser. The dye that is biological tagging, which is attached to the sample, can be damaged if it is exposed to a greater energy of the laser source. Phototoxicity means the biological sample itself in the compartment of the confocal microscopy, if it reacts with the surrounding oxygen, with the exposure time, with laser power, with the oxygen concentration, it is become useless for us. It is become toxicated. So we have to replace the biological sample. So these are the two limitations of confocal microscopy. And we have to take care of the sample. We have to take care of the dye. So these are the some application. These are the heart tissues of the mice. We can see how these colorful areas have been targeted by spinning disk technology. We can see many targeted areas here that are all illuminated in the yellow color. And it has as a small resolution as 550 micrometer. These are the malignant cells, cancer cells inside the human tissue. See how it we have created a video of 5 seconds here, and how we can see the cancer cells are transferring and going backwards and upward. These are the zebrafish embryo neuron, which is used by, has been imaged by confocal microscopy. These are the kidney cells inside the human tissue. These are the color-coded cancer cell inside the human tissue. See how we can create colorful images out of confocal microscopy, and it has carried the resolution of 10 micrometer. So as deep as possible. So by using confocal microscopy, we can penetrate to the deep cells by up to 200 micrometer. We can go down to the skin surface. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jawwad, for such an engaging and insightful session. Your discussion highlighted how innovation flourishes when technology, research, and scientific discovery come together. We truly appreciate your time and to share your expertise with us once again. Let's give Dr. Jawwad a virtual round of applause. As we continue our journey today, we now arrive to the final session of our Women in Computer Science event. We have explored inspiring perspectives on women in STEAM and discovered how emerging technologies and transforming biomedical research
discuss a topic that is becoming increasingly important for every engineer, not just computer scientists or cybersecurity professionals. The title of today's talk is When STEM Meets Cyber Security, from Smart Ideas to Secure Innovation. We often focus on creating smarter devices, better AI models, faster robots, or intelligent healthcare system. But there is one question we often forget to ask. Are they secure? Before we dive into cybersecurity, let me briefly tell you why this topic has become so important to me personally. My academic background is actually in biomedical engineering, and I completed my PhD at Fudan University, China. During my PhD, my primary research focused on EEG signals, neonatal sleep staging, artificial intelligence, and intelligent healthcare system. Our goal was to develop AI system that could automatically analyze neonatal brain activity to support doctor in making faster and more accurate decisions. As I worked on these intelligent systems, I realized something very important. Even the most advanced AI model is only as trustworthy as the data is received. If someone manipulates the data, if a medical device is compromised, if patient information is altered, then even a high accurate AI system can make completely wrong decisions. That realization changed the way I looked at engineering. I understood cybersecurity is not a separate discipline. It is the foundation that makes intelligent systems trustworthy. Since then, my research interests have expanded to include AI, IoT, and cybersecurity for smart and healthcare systems. That is exactly why I am passionate about today's topic. Now I would like to ask all of you a very simple question. Imagine this, which of one of these devices can be hacked? So every single of them. That's the reality of today's connected world. Every device connected to the internet becomes a potential target. The smarter our technologies become, the more responsibility we have to protect them. That's why cybersecurity is no longer optional. It is becoming an essential part of engineering itself. But before we talk about security, let's quickly remind ourselves what STEM actually represents. Most of us are already familiar with the STEM, but let's briefly revise it, what it actually means. Science, discovery and understanding, technology, practical application, engineering, building the future, mathematics, the logical foundation. Every smart device around us, even AI application, every autonomous vehicle, every healthcare technology is a result of STEM working together. But here is something interesting. STEM teaches us how to build amazing technologies. Cybersecurity teaches us how to protect them. Why learning cybersecurity? Why should engineering students care? So now we understand what STEM is. The next question is, why should an engineering student learn cybersecurity? Many students think cybersecurity is only for computer science or IT professionals, but today there is no longer true. If you develop an AI model, you must ensure that data it learns from has not been manipulated. If you design an IoT device, you must protect it from unauthorized access. If you build a robot, you don't want someone remotely changing its behavior. If you are working on medical device, patient safety depends on the integrity of your system. If you develop drones, communication between the drone and the controller must remain secure. And if you work on smart cities, you're responsible for protecting critical infrastructure used by thousands or even millions of people. So cybersecurity is no longer just another subject. It is becoming a fundamental engineering skill. Whether you become electrical engineer, biomedical engineer, AI researcher, or software developer, security will always be a part of your work. But what exactly does STEM create and where does cybersecurity fit into this picture? STEM gives us the ability to imagine and create. Science helps us discover new knowledge. Technology transform ideas into practical application. Engineering builds systems that solve real-world problems. Mathematics connect everything through logic, analysis, and precision. Together, these disciplines allow us to build amazing innovation, AI systems, smart sensors, autonomous robots, intelligent healthcare devices, and connected cities. But creating technology is only half of the story. Imagine spending months or even years developing an innovative project. Everything works perfectly. Then one day someone gains unauthorized access. Suddenly your innovation becomes a threat instead of a solution. Cybersecurity protects the systems we build. It ensures that our devices remain reliable, our data remains accurate, and our users remain safe. Innovation creates opportunities. Security protects those opportunities. Let me give you a simple example. Why cybersecurity matters. Imagine that you are in your final year of engineering. For your capstone project, you build a smart home system. You install smart locks, smart lighting, and security cameras. You test everything, it works perfectly. You proudly demonstrate your project, your teachers are impressed, and your friends congratulate you. But a week later, someone sitting hundreds of kilometers away gains access to your system. They unlock the front door, turn off security cameras, control the lights, not because your project failed, but because security was never considered. That's why cybersecurity matters. It transforms a working project into a trustworthy project. Now let's look at what can actually happen when security is ignored. Many people think cyber attacks only affect computers. In reality, they affect people. Let me show you a few examples. First one is smart lock. Imagine your family's smart lock is hacked. Someone unlocks your home without your permission. There is no longer a digital problem. It becomes a physical security problem. Other one is medical device. Consider a patient using smart medical device. If incorrect data is sent to the doctor may make the wrong medical decision. In healthcare, cybersecurity can directly affect patient safety. Other one is smart traffic. Smart traffic system helps reduce congestion, but if an attacker manipulates traffic signals, the consequences could include traffic jams or even accidents. Drones. Drones are used for surveillance, delivery, agriculture, and emergency response. If communication is compromised, the drone could be redirected or even crashed intentionally. Other one is robot. Industrial robots work alongside human. If someone changes their control commands, they may perform unsafe action and create hazards in workplace. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is only as good as the data it learns from. If attackers manipulate training data, AI system may produce completely incorrect predictions or decisions. The important lesson here is that cybersecurity is not just about protecting devices, it is about protecting people. But how do these attacks actually happen? Every successful cyber attack starts by exploiting a weakness. Attackers don't need magic, they simply look for opportunities. First one is malware. Malware is malicious software designed to damage systems, steal information, or disrupt operations. Next is phishing. It attacks trick users into revealing passwords or confidential information. Sometimes one careless click is enough to compromise an entire organization. Then we have weak passwords. Weak passwords remain one of the easiest way for attacking to gain access. Sometimes as simple as 123456 or password can expose critical system. Then we have a ransomware. It encrypts files and demands payment to restore access. Hospitals, universities, and businesses around the world have all been victims of ransomware attacks. Then we have data thefts. Attacker also target personal, financial, and organizational data. Once stolen, that information can soar, leak, or misuse. So remember this sentence: without security, smart quickly becomes vulnerable. And that brings us to the next question. If these threats exist everywhere, how should we design our system to defend against them? So far, we have seen that modern technologies bring incredible opportunities, but they also introduce new security risks. As engineers, our goal isn't just to build innovative system. It is to build systems that people can trust. STEM gives us knowledge to create innovation through science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But when innovation alone isn't enough, every technology we build must also be protected by cybersecurity. In cybersecurity, we often refer to CIA trait: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three principles ensure that information remain private, accurate, and accessible to authorized users when needed. When these principles are followed, people trust the technologies we create. That's why I always say without security, even the smartest innovation become vulnerable. So how do we apply these security principles in layer connected system? Let's follow the journey of an IoT system. Imagine we have a smart sensor. It collects temperature, movement, heart rate, or maybe environmental data. That information is transmitted over the internet. It reaches cloud servers where AI algorithm analyze it. The process information is then displayed on a mobile. application, or dashboard. Finally, a user makes decision based on that information. It sounds simple, but let's look more carefully. Every communication link, every device, every server, every API, every wireless connection can become an entry point for attackers. Any attacker does not need to compromise the whole system. Sometimes compromising just one component is enough. That is why we must think about security from the very beginning, not after deployment. So if attackers only need one weak point, how do they actually perform an attack? In movies, cyber attacks often look instant. Sometimes someone types a few commands and suddenly everything is hacked. Reality is very different. Cyber attacks usually happen in several stages. First one is entry. First, attacker find an entry point. It could be a weak password, an outdated system, or someone clicking a phishing email. Then breach. Once inside, they try to gain deeper access. They explore the network, identify valuable information, and sometimes increase their privilege. Then we have payload. Now they execute their objective. They may install malware, encrypted files, steal confidential data, or manipulate device behavior. Then we have the last one, impact. Finally we see the consequences: financial loss, service disruption, privacy violations, physical damage, or even risk to human safety. The important lesson is this: cybersecurity attack rarely happen by chance. They exploit weakness that could often have been prevented. Let's move from the theory to the real life. I would like to take you on a journey through 4 different worlds where cybersecurity protects our daily life. So until now, we have discussed cybersecurity in general. Now let's see how it affects different industries. We will visit 4 different domains: a smart home, a smart hospital, smart agriculture, and finally a smart city. As we move through these examples, notice how the impact becomes larger and larger. Let's begin at home. Imagine arriving home after work. You unlock your front door using your smartphone. Your lights switch on automatically. Your air conditioner starts before you enter. Your security cameras monitor your home while you're away. This is the convenience that smart home provides. But now imagine that someone else gain access. They unlock your doors, disable your cameras, monitor your daily routine, or steal personal information. Suddenly, convenience becomes a security risk. Smart home teaches an important lesson. Every connected device should be protected with a strong password, secure communication, regular software updates, and proper authentication. Security begins at home. Now let's move to a place where cybersecurity becomes even more critical: healthcare. Healthcare is one of the most important applications of technology. Hospitals today are connected. They use connected medical devices, electronic health records, AI-assisted diagnosis, wearable sensors, and remote patient monitoring. These technologies improve healthcare tremendously. But imagine if someone modifies a patient's medical record or changes the reading from the heart monitor, disable hospital information system. Doctors may unknowingly make the wrong medical decision. In healthcare, cybersecurity isn't just protecting computers; it protects human lives. As someone whose research started in intelligent healthcare, this is one of the areas I care about the most. Cybersecurity also protects something that feeds all of us. Next one is agriculture. Agriculture is becoming increasingly intelligent. Farmers now use IoT sensors to measure soil moisture and also use drones to monitor crops. AI predict diseases. Automated irrigation system reduce water uses. These technologies improve productivity and sustainability. But what happens if sensor data is manipulated? The irrigation system may supply too much or maybe too little water. Crops may be damaged, resources may be wasted, food production may decrease. So cyber security in agriculture is about protecting food security, natural resources, and the livelihoods of farmers. So we have now seen cyber security in homes, hospitals, and farms. In the next example, we will scale up even further to an entire smart city, where a single cyber attack can affect millions of people. So now let's think bigger. an entire smart city. A smart city connects traffic systems, electricity, water supply, surveillance, and many other public services through a central network. While this connectivity makes cities more efficient, it also creates a major risk. If one critical system is compromised, the failure can spread across the entire city. This is known as systematic collapse. Imagine an attacker gains access to central control system. Traffic signal stops working, power outage occurs, water services are disrupted, and surveillance systems fail. The single cyber attack can affect millions of people. This is why cyber security is not just about protecting computers, it's about protecting critical infrastructure and public safety. As
Ma'am, are you available? I think she's having internet issue.
I'm sorry, there was some internet issue on my side.
No worries, ma'am.
Okay. So far, we have discussed the risk. Now, let's shift our focus to the solution. Every successful technology depends on three equally important elements: innovation, security, and trust. The first one is innovation. Engineers are innovators. We develop AI, robots, smart healthcare system, drones, and intelligent cities. Innovation drives progress. Security. But innovation alone is not enough. Every innovation must be protected. Security ensures that our system remain reliable, trustworthy, and resilient against attack. The third element is trust. Think about online banking. Would you use a banking app if you knew it could easily be hacked? Probably not. The same applies to healthcare, autonomous vehicle, and smart home. People only adopt technology when they trust it. And the trust is built through security. That's why I call this innovation a trade. Innovation creates security products. Trust enables society to confidentially use the technologies we build. But here is something many engineers still do wrong. Imagine you're building a house. Would you build the entire house, paint walls, install furniture, and then decide to add foundation? Of course not. The foundation comes first. The same principle applies to cybersecurity. Many organizations used to think about security only after the product was completed. They developed the software first, tested it, released it, and only then asked, now let's make it secure. Today, that approach no longer works. Modern engineering follows the principle of security by design. Security is considered from the planning stage, during design, during development, during testing, and during deployment. Even after release through continuous monitoring and updates. I want you to remember one sentence from today's presentation. Security is not the last chapter. Security is chapter 1. But what practical steps can engineers take to build secure system? Security is not achieved through a single technology. It is achieved through multiple layers working together. We often call this defense in depth. Let me briefly explain each layer. First one is strong password. Always use unique and strong passwords. They are your first line of defense. Then multi-factor authentication. Even if someone steals your password, multi-factor authentication adds another layer of protection. Then we have encryption. Encryption protects sensitive information while it is stored and while it is transmitted. Then we have secure coding. As future developers, writing secure code is one of your most important responsibilities. Then we have software updates. Many cyber attacks exploit vulnerabilities that already have available security patches. Regular updates close those vulnerabilities. Then we have network security. Firewalls, secure communication protocols, and proper network configuration help protect connected devices. Then we have monitoring. Systems should continuously monitor unusual activity. Early detection often prevents major incidents. Then we have user awareness. Technology alone is never enough. User will also recognize phishing emails, social engaging, and unsafe online behavior. None of these layers is perfect by itself, but together they significantly reduce risk. So if cybersecurity is this important, where can you contribute as future engineers? Many students ask, can I work in cybersecurity if I'm not a computer science student? The answer is absolutely yes. Cybersecurity is one of the few fields that welcome people from many engineering backgrounds. If you enjoy programming, you can become a secure software engineer. If you like networking, you specialize in network security. If you are interested in AI, AI security, and adversarial machine learning are rapidly growing field. Cybersecurity is no longer a single profession. It is an entire ecosystem. Every engineering discipline has an important role to play. That's why I encourage all of you to develop at least a basic understanding of cybersecurity regardless of your specialization. And as we think about the future of cybersecurity, there is another important message I would like to share. When many people hear the word cybersecurity, they imagine someone wearing a hoodie, sitting in a dark room, typing lines of code, but that's not the reality. Cybersecurity is about solving problems. It requires teamwork, communication, creativity, ethics, and continuous learning. Most importantly, it requires diverse perspectives. Women have made remarkable contribution to science, engineering, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. Today, we see women leading research, laboratories, protecting national infrastructure, developing secure healthcare technologies, and designing safer digital systems. Events like this, even like today's Women in Engineering workshop, are important because they encourage more young women to explore these exciting opportunities. I would like to leave you with this thought. Cybersecurity is not about the hackers you see in movies. It is about protecting families, protecting patient health, protecting national infrastructure, and ultimately protecting human lives. And every one of you has the ability to contribute to this mission. So we have reached the end of this journey. Today, we explored how STEM and cybersecurity are no longer separate fields. They work together to create safe, intelligent, and trustworthy technologies. So let's quickly summarize the key message. Innovation without security is incomplete. Small, early security practices prevent catastrophic physical failures. Every single STEM project requires the security life cycle. In a small word, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. I hope this presentation has helped you see cybersecurity from different perspective. So at the end, I would like to just conclude that the future will not only belong to those who invite, it will belong to those who innovate securely. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for engaging and insightful session. Your talk beautifully highlighted that innovation is not just about developing new ideas, it's about ensuring those ideas can secure, reliable, and capable of making a meaningful impact. We sincerely appreciate you for sharing your expertise, your valuable experience, and your time with all of us today. It was truly a pleasure having you with us. And with that, we come to the conclusion of today's Women in Computer Science session. On behalf of Women in Computer Science and AI Explain You Science, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all our respected speakers for making today's event an inspiring learning experience. A special thanks to our founder, Professor Dr. Inam Khan, for his continuous guidance and support in creating opportunities that connect students with distinguished researchers and professionals. Finally, thank you to every participant for being with us today. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation made this event truly memorable. We hope to see you again in upcoming Women in Computer Science sessions. Until then, keep learning, keep innovating, and keep believing in the difference you can make through technology. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a wonderful day ahead. Goodbye, everyone.